be gone. You little mouse. Wow. Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer. You guys can call me Jen. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, hello, welcome to the start of another weekend vlog. I am here, still wearing the same sweater. It has become the new house sweater. Will I be wearing it tomorrow? Yes. Yes, I will be. And that's fine. Probably Sunday too, depending if it smells bad by then or not. But I've been wearing it only when I'm like clean and also I'm not cooking. So like, it still smells fresh. It's still good. Anyways, we are about to go to bed. I just wanted to start this vlog. I finished a book tonight. Yay! Fuck yeah! I'll talk about it more tomorrow. And as I was putting it into Goodreads, I went onto Goodreads and I saw a couple of my friends' ratings for The Haunting of Felkwood. And I'm so worried now because one of them was 2 stars and one of them was 3. And my friend Hannah was like, not my genre, I couldn't connect to the characters. I'm like, what do you mean? The whole thing is just a character work. Oh no, now I'm really worried that they all hated it. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle that tomorrow. But anyways, they're coming here tomorrow at noon. So I gotta go to bed because it's almost 2:30 in the morning. I need to sleep. Anyways, welcome to the vlog. I think it's gonna be a very chill one because I have nothing planned. Not a one, just book club tomorrow. So I should probably do some writerly stuff because it's been a second. I'm just trying to get myself back on some sort of groove with reading. So I did read a book today and I read a book yesterday. So like we're kind of there. But granted, yesterday was Haunting of Felkwood. Very fast, read it in 3 hours. And then this one, I read it in like 4. So anyways, I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. I'm gonna bring this little sleepy baby to bed. I'll chat to you tomorrow. Yeah, welcome to the vlog. Are you hiding? Oh, you look so sad. Tail if I ever did see one. It's a swishy tail. Hello friends, happy Saturday, technically Sunday, because guess what, it's 2 a.m. Hello. She's just the star of the show, I guess. Look at this foot. Look at it. She didn't know, Mom. It's my foot. Hello friends. Oh my goodness gracious, happy Saturday. I have reading news. And I also had a good day today. Today was book club, and we have officially turned the tables on my book club because usually in my personal book club with my friends, I am the one who does not like the books very much. Like 90% of the time, I'm giving it 1.5, 2, 2.5, maybe 3 stars. You know, they're just never good for me. This time, with a 5-star of mine, nobody rated it over a 3.5. So, you know, we took those tables and we fucking flipped them. We took them and we turned them, you know? Which is so unfortunate because I realized last night that I have so much anxiety around that, which is something I never realized. Like, I pride myself on picking really good books for book club. And that's when I did my original book club with 3 of my friends way back. Anytime that I picked a book, 80% of the time that I picked a book, I'll say, for that book club, which we rotated every month, it was someone else who picked because there's only 4 of us in the book club. And that was the easiest way to do it. Every time I picked a book, I was picking fucking banger after banger after banger, and like everyone seemed to really enjoy the book, and I was like, this is perfect, this is my calling, I am the best at this. So I didn't realize how much anxiety I had around that because Friday night when I put the rating into Goodreads, or that I finished The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher, which I will talk about, I noticed that one of my friends had rated it 2 stars and another one of my friends had rated it 3 stars and said in their review that it was like they didn't connect to the characters. And I was like, oh my God. I went through it for a little bit last night, just telling myself that I was like, oh no. And then I it's going to be something I bring up at therapy because I feel like there's something deeper there, something inherently like, I don't give a shit when they pick a book that I don't like because that happens 100% of the time at this point, and I'm just there for the ride. And I'm reading books that I would never have read before, right? Like, it's whatever. But as soon as I pick a book and they don't like it, I get so worried because I'm just like, like I want to make sure my friends are having a good time. Like, what? So, you know, but like, again, I don't really feel that way. I didn't really feel that way when I picked a previous book, which they let me do because they were like, because I basically was like, oh, I don't really want to be in this book club anymore because none of the books are fucking good for me. I'm not enjoying them. Like, why would I stick around? And I was gonna back out of the club and they were like, no, Jen, like, you're gonna get to pick the next one. Like, you get to pick fantasy, blah, blah, blah. And then I picked River Mama by Zalika Rebenta, which I didn't like. And it was like aggressively mid. Coming into that one, I was like, it's aggressively mid. I wonder what everyone else thinks of it. Everyone thought it was aggressively mid. So it wasn't like I was worried about that. But because this one is a 5-star of mine, I got so worried when I noticed that a couple of my friends weren't liking it. And I was like, oh my God. And then I had to remind myself, 1, this is just turning the tables on my friends because they pick books that they love that I hate. 2, this book that I picked, The Haunting of Velkwood, is an incredibly polarizing book. Even people who love that genre love it or hate it. I had to remind myself of that because also people have different opinions on stuff. And then I got to listen to my friends today, Sophie and Tamsin, just absolutely rip it to shreds. And I had to remind myself when I was sitting there just to be chill and not like be super defensive because it is a book I absolutely love. It's just like, you guys saw my reading vlog on it. I put it up on Friday. Like, it was a rereading vlog and I gushed about the book and how wonderful I think it is. Sure, it's not a perfect book, but it's 5 stars for me, you know? And it's rare that I have a book like that I'm like, okay, maybe it's not a perfect book, but it's 5 stars for me because I'm a very subjective rater. And it's just like, I don't know. It was a weird moment. And I need to think about that a little harder and maybe discuss it with my therapist about my people-pleasing tendencies. I think that's where it was. But anyways, that was today. It was at noon. My friends came here, which was lovely. Freya panicked and hid under the couch for the majority of it, but she did come out a couple times, so proud of her for that. And then when they left, I did end up doing some reading. But as I mentioned previously, I did read The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher on Friday, all in one fell swoop. I feel like I'm in, this is gonna sound so contradictory because I literally have read 2 books in 2 days, but I have felt like I've been in such a weird non-reading mood. And I don't like using the word reading slump. I don't personally feel like I ever get into reading slumps because I'm such a varied reader with my stuff that I like can avoid the traditional reading slump where you just don't read forever and ever and ever. And I think it's a mood thing more than like a book thing. Anyways, I have very similar feelings about writer's block. It's fine. And I know it's a little contentious, but I feel like even though I have been reading and forcing myself to read, I feel like I've just not been in a reading mood. I have not been reading anything good. And I just feel so sluggish with my reading. And so I've been forcing myself out of that with, actually, I've read 3 books in 3 days, actually, because it was The Haunting of Velkwood Thursday, this yesterday, and this today. So these 3 books are done. I feel so sluggish. I'm just like, I feel like I'm not reading at all. I say, having just read 3 fucking books in 3 days. I don't know what it is. I could just, maybe it's because I am in this weird mood of like, I don't know what to read. So thus I'm like pushing myself to read some of the stuff that's on my TBR, even if I might not be in the mood for it. Like, loved The Haunting of Velkwood. That was 5 stars, obviously. But I haven't been reading anything new recently that's like really done anything for me. Like, I read The Twisted Ones Friday, and this was just fine for me. Like, it was interesting, very voicey, our main character, like, just literally, like, one thing I'll say about T. Kingfisher is that her characters just fucking jump off the page no matter what kind of character they are, whether I like them or whether I don't. This story was, I hated being in our main character's head because, like, she just rambled in a way that wasn't like stream of consciousness. It was just rambly. And it felt like I was trapped in an ADHD brain. And like the horror was fine. I was expecting to have more aligned with like the grandma in here. So basically the plot of this is that our main character's name is Mouse. It's not her real name, it's a nickname. She gets asked by her 80-year-old father to go and clean out her grandmother's house because her grandmother recently passed away. And he was like, it was bad before we put her in a home. I don't know how bad it is now, right? And it hasn't been looked at for years. So she goes and she basically moves into this house to clean it out, and her grandma was a hoarder. And so it's this cleaning out of this house, but it's not that, like, she doesn't do it systematically. She doesn't do it very well. And that was driving me nuts the whole time. Because I'm like, listen, you can't just go into this house and like create a pathway for yourself and like pick things here. Like you're never getting anything done. You're never getting anything done. You can't, no, like there has to be a system. You have to clean room by room by room by room. And it's not, holy shit. And that bothered me a lot because I was like, no, you're going at it wrong, which I think is just my neurodivergent ass coming out again. But that's not like the whole driving point of the story. Like it is, that's the framework of the story. But when she gets there, she finds a bedroom on the main floor that is basically empty. Like it only has a few things, like a few set pieces of like furniture. And she's like, great, I don't have to fucking sleep around the doll room or my grandma's old room, you know, amongst the trash and detritus of my grandma's life. And so she gets in there and she realizes it's her step grandfather's old room, who passed away like 20 years ago or something. I don't remember when he passed away. 5 years ago, whatever. And so she gets there and she finds a journal of his, and I believe he had Alzheimer's near the end of his life. So it's interesting to read, but it does not read like an Alzheimer's fading mind type of journal to me. It reads like I'm trying to write this journal like it is coming from an Alzheimer's addled mind that's also being ferried away by these fairies. Like it was trying too hard. Anyways, so our main character Mouse finds this journal and she becomes kind of gently obsessed with finding this book that her step-grandfather mentions in this journal, because he basically is saying like she hid the book. She hid this green book. And she's like, well, obviously he's talking about my grandma. And it's like, it becomes very apparent very quickly that her step-grandfather did not like her grandmother. And like her grandmother was a fucking horror. She was awful. And I was expecting a lot more of the horror to come from the house and like the creeping unease and like the maze of the hoarder hallways. And like I was expecting a lot of it to come from the house, but like none of it really did, except for the very ending. There's something that happens at the very ending, but instead it's coming from outside the house. It's coming from these things called the Twisted Ones. And it's this weirdly, it's like there's something in the woods vibes. And there's creepy animals, and there's like she's got a stupid fucking dog. And if I never have to hear the name Bongo or see the name Bongo written again, I will be so happy, because holy shit, I don't think there's a page in here that does not mention her fucking dog. And I just like, I love dogs. I love dogs so deeply. I love all animals. She couldn't shut the fuck up about her dog. I hated it. I hated that. But like, it was fine. It was enjoyable. I'm thinking like probably like a 3.5 star. I haven't read it through cop up, but yeah, I read this. Good for spooky season. If you're looking for like a folklorish horror that does lean into the fantasy elements by the end. Loved Foxy. She was a neighbor out there when Mouse goes and like lives in her grandma's house. Like it's very secluded, but there's like a commune that used to be like a hippie commune like across the road. And Foxy lives there with her husband and another man who is like kind of a son to her, weird like pseudo family. Foxy fucks, and I love Foxy. We don't know how old she is. She's just somewhat up there in age. She could be 50, she could be 70, no one knows. She fucks. I love her. Foxy, goals. Anyways, today I then was like, oh, I'm kind of in the mood to try Coffin Moon. And guys, this flopped so hard. I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit like Buffalo Hunter, that level of like literary horror vampirism vibes. And like it kind of was, but I was just gently bored and mid with this book the whole way through. I don't like where it went. Like there's choices that are not mentioned on the flap, so I'm not going to tell you what they are, because if you want to read this, you don't want to be spoiled. But like, so, okay. It took so long to get to the fucking point of this. Like it took so long to get to the moment where this man's wife gets fucking brutally murdered by a vampire, okay? So we're following this man. He goes by Minor this entire time. I think his name is Dwayne. His name is Dwayne Minor, but he goes by Minor the entire time. Him and his wife, Heidi, are younger, and they've become guardians of this 13-year-old girl named Julie, because Julie is Heidi's niece. Like, it's their niece, right? And Heidi's sister killed her partner or whatever in like cold blood, aka she was defending herself from domestic violence. So she's in jail now. Someone has to take care of the kids. The baby goes to the in-laws because they're like, well, we'll take him because he's our blood, but we ain't taking the girl because she's your blood, and that blood killed our son vibes, right? So Julie comes to live with Minor and Heidi. They're trying to make it work. It's a very sweet family right at the beginning. Like, they're just trying, and that's all you can really do. It's such a weird situation. And then it takes for fucking ever to get to the point of where Minor pisses off a vampire, and the vampire comes and fucking murders the fuck out of his wife and his wife's parents. And then it sets off this like sort of pseudo revenge situation where, one, it tips Minor totally back on his sobriety. Like, he's a Vietnam vet, and he's been sober for like 2 years. And as soon as this happens, obviously the grief overtakes him and he becomes a raging alcoholic again. He becomes swallowed by the whiskey, if you will. And then Julie is like rage incarnate, because like her little slice of happiness that she had for literally 5 months or something, like very, very short amount of time, has been taken from her, and she wants to do anything in her power. She's 13 years fucking old and has all the audacity. I love her, but like, holy shit. And she will do anything to get this man that killed her aunt and her grandma and grandpa. Like, she goes off, and Minor is crumbling. And it's this, and then it goes off from there. Like, what does the flap say? So what's left of their splintered family is united by only one desire: vengeance. So begins a furious, frenzied pursuit across the Pacific Northwest and beyond. From grimy alleyways to desolate highways to snow-lashed plains, Minor and Julia, sorry, her name is Julia, not Julie, sorry, apologies. Minor and Julia are thrust into the dark orbit of undead children, silver bullet casters, and the bevy of broken men transfixed by Varley's ferocity. John Varley is the vampire that killed Heidi and Grandma and Grandpa. Everyone is out for blood. Gritty, unforgettable, and emotionally devastating, Coffin Moon asks what will be left of our humanity when grief transmutes into violence, when monsters wear human faces, and when our thirst for revenge eclipses everything else. I just didn't like where it went. I really didn't. I did not like the choices that were made by this author in putting in it went so far off of the track that I thought it was going to go on. Like, in my head, it was this revenge story of these two family members getting closer and closer and closer of these atrocities that they're doing as they become like vampire hunters, essentially. Like, I thought it was going to be this almost Van Helsing level thing of these two people coming to grips with their grief as they're also chasing this monster around, which it kind of is, but it goes a little bit too fantastical, which I was not anticipating hating. As a fantasy girly, I was not anticipating it. Anyways, this really flopped for me. But if it sounds interesting to you, go for it, I guess. Everyone on the back is talking about how it's like seeped in authenticity and heartbreak and written with a punk poet's soul. Reads like the pre-Near Dark 1970s vampire novel you always wanted. It's gory as fuck, but like not as gory as I was anticipating. Yeah, no, that one's a no for me. So I'm really disappointed with my reads. So I don't know what I'm going to read tomorrow. I have this entire chunker to get through because I did not get through it before my Libby audiobook ran out. But I got that Libby audiobook back yesterday because I guess the other person also didn't want to deal with it. So I could read The Dressed Crown. I feel like I should try and make a really good dent of this. But I'm also in that because last weekend, if you saw that video, you'll have seen that I eclipsed 200 books on my unread physical TBR. Now we are back, I believe, because I've read 2 books off that physical TBR, we are at 201 physical books on the TBR. And I feel like because I've eclipsed that 200 book mark, I am determined to just read it down as fast as I can. And this is not a fast read. Like, sitting down to read this is gonna take me a couple days at least of like solid reading. So my ass is like, okay, but what if I also read this other aardvark book that I have, All of Us Murderers by KJ Charles, which I'm really interested in. Gothic, queer, this sounds amazing. I also have this YA book. It's a Cinda Williams Chima. I really want to try this to see how fast I can read this and then read the books that I have on my shelf of hers. Like, I feel like this is going to be the readable read that I'm looking for right now. And I also have something cozy because I'm reading a lot of fucking dark shit. And I really want to read Julie Leong's new book, The Keeper of Magical Things, because it's got cat dragon on the front. I'm obsessed. So I have options, of course. We're going to see what I end up getting to tomorrow because it is almost 2:30 now. Knitting update. I finished aka cast off my dad's headband, and I'm very happy with it. I figured out what I did, and I just like on that other headband that has the weird bump in the middle, I just wasn't paying attention enough. You'll have seen that one mentioned in my rereading Haunting of Elkwood one. I'm very happy with this. I do feel the need to block this because it is curling at the edges. So we shall see what that does. But I did this, and then I also today finished and cast off this one for my mom. And I'm also very proud of this one because it turned out really nice. And again, it's just curling at the edges. So I feel like I need to block these so that they don't curl at the edges. So yeah, we got 2 headbands down. I also need to weave in the ends. And then I got to going on my mom's shawl thing. It's growing. And every row takes longer and longer to do, but I like being in the rows more than I like being on the ends because the weird increases in this pattern are just odd to me and I don't like them. I'm also not knitting in the round with this one. This is a garter stitch that I'm knitting as you would with like 2 empty needles, but this is great because then I can actually like transport this project around, you know, the attached needles. Anyways, so that's what's been up. That's what's been happening. Yeah, I'm gonna continue working on that. That's my reading news. It hasn't been great. I have read 3 books in 3 days, and I feel like I need to keep powering through because I feel like I'm behind for October. Just haven't been in a good reading mood. I feel sluggish with my reading, and I feel like even though I've been reading 3 books in 3 days, I am pushing myself to read. Like, I am literally sitting here and I'm like, all I want to do is scroll, watch TV, and knit, or work on Far Horizons trilogy. And even then, I have a block on that one because I, like, literally the next thing I can do is start writing it. So I'm just like, I'm blocked, I'm sluggish. It seems to be a trend, my friends. Blocked is not the word either. Like, I could work on a lot more world building with that one, but it becomes this thing of like, I sit on my couch after whatever, or during the day, or like, you know, after work, whatever. And I'm like, okay, there's multiple things I could be doing right now. I could be recording the audiobooks for my books. I could be working on Far Horizons Trilogy Book 1. I could be knitting. I could be reading. I could be just fucking off and doing nothing. And then I always end up doing the fucking off and doing nothing one because I just can't pick and I don't know which one to do. And I just sit in this endless state of, I hate this mood. I hate this. I hate it. This season is my favorite season. It was warm today. It was like 16 degrees outside, Celsius. There was a fucking wasp that showed up, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean a wasp? Like, I went outside with Freya because I was like, I haven't seen bugs in like 2 weeks because we had a frost, and I was anticipating every fucking animal or creature to be gone. No. Went outside, 2 seconds in, wasp comes in and is like, a bitch, like right at me because they're hungry, I guess. And I was like, none of that, sir, thank you. I ran inside with Freya in my arms. So, you know what? I feel so sluggish. That is really the word of the time. And I'm trying to force myself through it. That's really what I'm doing. I'm just here to force myself through the sluggish mood. You guys are witness to that. And so is my girl. I know you don't want to be cuddled, but I want to give you cuddle. And smooch. I love you so much. Anyways, so that's been my weekend so far. It's gonna be Sunday tomorrow. The weekend is already done. Crazy. You crazy girl. She's looking at me like, fuck off, mom. Anyways, my friends, I've been chatting for so long now. So I'm just gonna leave this here. But hopefully tomorrow things turn around. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get some more work done. Tomorrow, I 100% want to get at least one chapter recorded on the audiobook. I gotta get back into that. I would also really like to start working on Far Horizons trilogy again, whether that is just messing with things. I am doing a writing vlog for it, so I won't talk about it too much, but yeah, being back in it, I want to lock in. I want to lock in because obviously I want a draft done by the end of 2025. So I have to lock the fuck in because that is going to be a long draft to do. And then I have books that I want to read. So we'll see what I end up reading tomorrow. We'll see what I end up doing tomorrow. But yeah, today was a good day. I'm glad that I have been reading and that I haven't just been stewing in my anger at myself of like being unable to do anything. It's just the season. I have to keep reminding myself that it's the season, it's the mood, it's all of the above. Anyways, I have been productive. I have been knitting. I have been doing stuff with my hands, which is nice. So I just need to sew in the ends and then keep going on my mom's scarf. I don't know how long that's going to take me to do because I want it to be like fairly large so she can like wrap it around herself, you know? Anyways, I'll catch you tomorrow for Sunday. She attacked my hand. She attacked. Oh! So I just took Freya outside for like a few seconds because we were gonna just stand and look out wistfully at the world. Also, happy Sunday, hi. I looked down, this was sticking out of my mailbox on my stairs, which made me gently terrified. I hate when mail people don't bring my package up to my door because like it's sticking in like a mailbox that is accessible by people just walking by, and I'm just like, the amount of things that I could have had stolen from that mailbox is a little insane. So far, nothing has been stolen yet, so knock on wood. I would have noticed it tomorrow going out to work, but it's a Blackwell's box. I know what this is. I think. I mean, it could only really be one thing. Oh, see that? The Island, the Silver Sea. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh. And it's a good Orbit paperback. She's so fluffy. Oh. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so fucking excited to have this in my hands. I ordered this from Blackwell's in the UK because 1, Blackwell's has free shipping internationally, and 2, I did not want the hardcover because I do not like hardcover fantasy books. If I can avoid them, I will avoid them, and I much prefer an Orbit paperback, even though this is a slightly different Orbit paperback than usual. This is very... Where's another Orbit paperback? I'll just pull one of her other books. Like, Orbit usually has like a very papery vibe to it, but oh, it matches, thank God. This matches in height, thank fuck. Orbit, thank you. But this is a very like silky, not I don't know what this reminds me of. Anyways, I was literally thinking about picking up and reading this today because I was like, it's out in the world. I have the audiobook for it. I'm 41% of the way through the arc still. So, because I decided when I picked up the arc for the second time, I was like, no, I want this experience with the audiobook in my ears because I just know I'm going to absolutely fucking love it because I was loving it. I just have such a hard time reading books physically or on ebook without the audiobook. So I was going to pick it up today, but I didn't. I fucking should have because I picked up a book that I'm not liking. Which, like, I'm gonna give it a full try. Oh my god. Hold on. Freya. Oh, she is scratching at my computer. Oh, please don't have done anything weird. Oh, please don't have done anything weird. She moved an entire chapter down. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're good. Oh my god, she was scratching at my computer for a second. Sweetness. You want to be a writer? You want to be a little author? No remorse. Anyways, yeah, so I was reading a book today that I'm just not enjoying, but I am committing to the bit and I'm going all the way through with it because I need to finish it just to make sure that it's not going to randomly catch my attention near the end and make me want to read the other ones because just fucking got the other two in this series, or at least the second and the third, because I think there's 4 books in the series. It's the Cinda Williams Chima book. It is not what I was expecting at all. I am 40-something% through. I'm 205 pages in. And like, it's not bad. It's just not what I was expecting, not what I was wanting from a YA fantasy. So this is really giving... Oh, what the fuck is that book called? The Queen's Thief by Megan Wallen Turner, I think is her name, which I enjoyed book 1 of and then tried to read book 2, did not like it, and DNF'd that series. It's giving that flavor of YA fantasy, which is a flavor of YA fantasy I do enjoy. So now that I know what it is, I think I'll be okay going forward. But yes, I'm going to finish this just to see how this series starts and fully gets into swing, because I have a feeling like people love Cinda Williams Chima, right? And now that I know what it is, it's just not what I was expecting from a YA fantasy, you know? Especially one that was like popular when I was a kid, I guess. I don't actually know when this was published, but like is from when we were kids. So like, when was this published? 2009. So yeah, this is an old book. So yeah, I just need to get used to the vibe. And now that I know the vibe, I think I'll be fine. But it wasn't what I was expecting. It wasn't what I was wanting today. So I only read 200 pages of it and I was knitting the whole time. Because of course I was. I decided to knit myself a toque. I'm going to try make myself a toque for the first time. Or as you Americans would call it, a beanie. Incorrect. I'm going to knit myself a toque, which is very fun. I've gotten a fair amount through it. And I've actually put together 2 different yarns. One is, I think they're both like, one's a fingering weight and one's like a 1 step up from fingering. So I put them together for like the band part of the hat. I love that I'm saying that I'm knitting myself a hat when I literally told you guys in a previous video that I don't wear hats because I don't like what it does to my hair. But that's fine. We're gonna figure it out. Maybe this will make me wear hats more if I make myself one. But anyways, I did spend a lot of today just like sitting here in my middle feeling, but I was knitting and I was reading. So there was that. And then I decided to make myself dinner. And I got to the point where I was like, okay, I am gonna just keep knitting. I was watching one of my ghost shows because a couple like new ones came out and I was very interested by them and I wanted to watch like the episodes properly. And then I was like, okay, one more round, then I'm gonna do something writerly. And so I went and picked up my computer and I reread all of the stuff, all of the 9,000 words or whatever that I had of Far Horizons book 1. I reread all those chapters, added 1,000 words, and now we are ready to go fresh into the next chapter. And I'm thinking about well, it's already fucking 10 to 1 a.m., so like maybe not. But I was thinking of continuing on with that today, but I'm in it. I've added 1,000 words. I've officially hit the 10,000 word mark in Far Horizons. And I've polished the beginning a little bit, which is very exciting. I've polished what I've been calling the wolf prologue so many fucking times because I want it to hit this tone that is so different from the rest of the story, because it's like introducing the villain. And then Sage's first chapter starts with literally just like Stories can teach you a lot. What they don't teach you, though, is that when you're trying to become a notable hero, when you're trying to make a name for yourself, you need to do basic jobs just to scrape by, to get enough gold to be able to buy passage on a boat, only to get you onto the next tiny job. The stories also don't tell you that those jobs can be incredibly gross. And it's like in the middle of them trying to like defeat this nest of sea snakes that are just slimy and disgusting. It's just this like complete tone change, because I want this book to start so light and bright and beautiful, but I also want to leave the reader knowing that like something else is coming, and it's this looming darkness. I love this prologue so much. I love it so much. I love it so much. Heat coated her bones as she breathed in and held the heavy midnight air deep in her chest. After such a warm day, the air was thick with moisture. What they really needed was a storm to tear through, to break the tension. By the shore, the air would be much cooler, a gentle breeze flowing off the waves to cool the sweat on the back of your neck. Here, in the quiet of the island, the air was still and dead. Towering shadows of trees and broken stones stood solid and stoic against the star-drenched night sky, watching as she dragged her hand through her hair, forgetting she had braided it back hours before. Blasted sea, she swore beneath her breath, the seafaring swear etched into her very marrow from years on the ocean. She shook her hair out, letting it fall loose around her shoulders. So much for that. The body next to her stirred, whimpering softly. I just want to read you this whole fucking prologue, but I'm not going to. Because spoilers. And by the time it gets into your hands, whenever that fucking happens, it's probably gonna be so different. But like, I have already polished this so many fucking times. Like, I love this chapter. Every time I come back to Sage's story, I go back to that first prologue and polish it. And I want to get back into it, because this is the tone, this is the vibe of like the ending. Like, this is where we're aiming for. And this is like, yes, it's gonna be a little silly goofy. It's gonna be very like D&D-esque. And our narrator Sage, well, not our narrator, one of our POVs, Sage, my main character of this book, she's very like naive, lighthearted, and all this kind of stuff. But she is learning that that's not necessarily how life works. But by the time this book ends, she's gonna be a little bit broken in places, which is gonna be so exciting to do and also so painful to do, because Sage is my girl. But she's also like, she's so bubbly and she's so bright. So having that as like the contrast, I think is so delicious. And I got 2 Sage chapters, a Lyra chapter, and a Drift one just started. Literally, I have 1 sentence in Drift's one. It is literally just, Drift awoke before the others, as they often did. They had such a time below decks, and then I stopped that sentence because I was like, So yeah, I am happy with that. And we're currently sitting at 10,351 words out of a goal of 110,000 words, because I don't want this draft to be huge. I want to make sure that I'm aiming for things to be nice and tight and concise and wonderful. Anyways, we finally did it, guys. We finally are back into Sage's story. I say very gently, because I just need to keep on it. I need to make a habit of this and come back to it all the time and keep building on it and keep writing the story, because it is already October fucking 26th, technically 27th. That's my update for today, my friends. It's been a good day. I'm not like super loving this one. It's giving really old style fantasy. It's following 2 characters, one who's a reformed thief named Han, who at the beginning of this like steals a powerful amulet from Micah Bayar, the son of the High Wizard, and Han is like full of mystery. And we're also following Risa Anna Mariana, who is Princess Heir of the Fells. So she's like a noble, and she's coming up to her 16th name day, and she doesn't want that. She doesn't want to get married. She doesn't want to do stuff. Anyways, so it's slow churning. We'll see where it goes. I am going to finish it, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. It wasn't what I wanted to read today, and yet I read 200 pages of it. So alas, that's fine. We're now back up to 202 books on the TBR. God fucking Christ. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine. Anyways, I'll chat to you guys tomorrow for Monday. But yeah, that's been my Sunday. Goosey. Trying to summon something. She says, no, Mom, I think I saw a fruit fly, and now I'm all obsessed about it, and I can't lay down. Hey, Goose. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, I saw you recording. Mom, I don't want to be recorded. Hello, friends. Happy Monday. Technically Tuesday because it's 12:30 in the morning. Yeah. I have a very sleepy bean on my lap. She's so cozy. Look at this. She says, Mom, you gotta get me scratches. You gotta get me scratches. Absolutely, baby. I give you all the scratches. Anyways, friends, I wanted to pop in and officially close out this vlog because it's here been we're at the end of it. I'm so tired. This weekend I ended up reading 2 books. I ended up reading 2 books off my spooky TBR, which were The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher and Coffin Moon by Keith Rawson, something like that. And I sort of enjoyed the T. Kingfisher, didn't enjoy the other one, and I also started a Cindy Williams Chima that I have no will to pick up again. I will though at some point. I got my order from Blackwell's of The Isle in the Silver Sea, which I'm so excited about. And it's been a good, very chill weekend. Had book club and knitting. And I also started back in Sage's story. Yes. So that's awesome. I am so sleepy. Doesn't help that I have a sleepy cat on me. She's warm and cuddly. And she making me sleepy. I'm living my very best old lady life with my knitting and my cat. She says, yes, Mom. Scratch my face, please. Do you like that? Your hair's all messed up. Oh, no. Anyways, my friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let me know down below how you're doing, how your reading has been for this end of October. I'll see you next weekend for Halloween, because Halloween's on Friday. And in the beginning of November, I also need to do some vlogging for my October overall vlog. So you can look out for that. First week of November. Me and Freya will see you in another video very soon. It's very chill over here in the Collington household. Hey, baby. Oh my goodness. She just looks like a little baby. Anyways, I'll catch you in another video very soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.